hands already don't have that great grip. So when I'm picking up boxes, they just slip out of my hands. And I'm like, damn it. And I gotta try and grab them again.
Are you picking up boxes outside?
I'm at FedEx. It's a warehouse. Warehouses aren't insulated.
They could be.
But it's not.
But they could be.
Most of your warehouses are not.
Why not?
Because they just need to store stuff. They don't need to keep anything. They don't handle food. And even when they do, the packages are already insulated.
Are you insulated?
Let's move on.
Are you pixelated?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of the CodeO-cast. My name is Omar.
0 viewers.
My name is Omar, and I am here with
Fredster.
Let's go. It's Pop-Tart, man.
It's like regular Freddy, but faster. Like a speedster, but a Fredster.
You get the Fred Force?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
He's Freddy.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
I would. I very much would.
He is the Freddy in the Five Nights at Freddy's.
We'll work on the lore later.
It's in what's it called? We'll go back to the drawing board. There you go. Back to the drawing board. You know, it's kind of funny that you guys are having snacks right now.
Why? Why is it funny, man? You gonna talk about NFTs?
No. What does snacks have to do with NFTs?
There's some snack NFTs probably. I don't know.
There is, but I'm not talking about NFTs. They're too confusing.
I see. So what are you talking about today, sir?
I'll open up with a little thing that happened to me last week.
Oh,
What happened to you last week?
you
Got
got
pregnant?
invaded by a
No,
molester.
it's about I'd say 12:30, and
In the afternoon or at night?
in the
You gotta be
afternoon.
specific.
At noon. I'm about to go. I want to have a meal before I go to rehearsal. That starts at 2, so I want to be there a little earlier.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm looking for what to eat. I come downstairs and I make myself some of the little microwavable like beef taco rolls that I have there, little taquitos. I put them in the microwave and I cook them. And then I take a bite. I made 4, put them in a plate. I sit down and I'm ready to eat. I'm watching my video. I take one bite and I'm like, I don't want this today. I took a bite and I'm like, I really don't like this today. This is also when I wasn't sick yet, but so I'm like, I just don't want this. Like I took a bite, I'm like, this is not setting well right now. Like in my mouth, like I don't want this. So I just throw them away. Like, all right, reset. What do I want? I opened my pantry. I was like, I still have cereal. This one's expired. All right, throw it away. All right, I have this newer cereal that I bought a little while back. Okay, it's good. It says it's good. It's not expired. Good cereal. All right, I grab the milk. I pour myself a bowl of cereal. I take 1 scoop into my mouth, and I'm like, milk was expired. So I threw away the whole bowl of cereal, and I just settled for the thing I didn't want to make because it takes some time to make, which was ramen. I ended up making that. So it was like playing a game of baseball. I had 2 strikes before I could actually get a hit. Yes, it was the same milk that you had to throw away the other day. I just forgot to tell you about it. That's why it actually
You
happened.
let me drink expired milk with my coffee. It was that same day.
Wow. That's funny.
God damn it.
It wasn't the exact same day that you noticed it with your coffee. It was after that. After that. So like it was so that.
Oh, so I already knew by then, because after that was when I had a bowl of cereal.
Did you
Yeah.
lower the music?
Oh my bad. I always forget about
Lowered it
something.
all the way.
Yes, I don't want it.
Well, why even put it as?
I put it while you know where it says starting soon. I put it there. I take it off because I don't want it there.
Thank you very much for the input. We would not have noticed because
Yeah.
Omar over here is getting himself poisoned with expired milk
Yeah,
and then poisoning others.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm the one that takes care of all this. So I'm bound to forget about one thing.
That is true. That is true.
So point is, yeah, it was strike 1. The taquitos, I didn't want to like them that day. Strike 2, the milk was expired.
I like how both of us had cereal that day, and that's how I found out it was expired.
Yeah, I forgot to tell. I had to leave. I wasn't gonna be around to tell you, hey, the milk's expired.
Well,
I
if
had to
it's
leave.
fire, why don't you just throw it away?
Yeah.
I was in a rush, so
Because
what I did is I poured, and then I put it back in the fridge. I took like the spoonful, and I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, throw it out. And I'm like, all right.
And then you just moved on.
No, the whole reason. Yeah, no, it was that because I thought it was the expired cereal. No, it wasn't. It was the actual milk. So I poured 2 bowls of cereal. It was actually because it was the first cereal that I found out was expired. So I was like, all right, it's the cereal that's bad. I threw that out. And then I poured the second bowl of cereal, which was my newer cereal, and I was like, nope, this is the milk. So I threw that out. And yeah, I just left the milk there because it didn't. It was this much little left. It was like so little left.
Oh, if it was so little left, why don't you just throw it?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I just wanted to eat. So in my mind, I just wanted to eat. So I just went towards the ramen. I had my meal, and then I went upstairs to get ready and left.
Yes.
Dude,
Selfish, as always.
You, hey, why did you throw the milk? And you could have just told me, oh yeah, it's expired, and I would have known and lost you.
I don't know. I just wanted to leave. I just wanted to eat and leave.
You know what? Screw this house. I'm leaving. They can go get poisoned. That's Omar.
It tasted so bad. None of you would have willingly drank it.
I just don't really drink the milk here. I mean, you say none of us would have, but somebody did though.
It tasted so bad that as soon as you tasted it, you would have realized that it was bad. I was not going to let you guys be poisoned.
Why didn't you throw it?
I had to leave.
I'm not gonna let
I just left.
I'm not gonna let
Omar, it's fine to say you forgot.
Yeah.
I did. I literally just said it
forgot.
slipped my mind because I was hungry.
And that you don't care about anybody.
Yeah, it's fine.
Except for yourself.
You can admit it. You can be honest.
Is that not obvious? I was hungry. Obviously, it was for myself. I was hungry.
Yeah.
I made myself food, and once I was done with the food, it was
you
time
made
to
yourself,
leave. So
you made
I left.
yourself 3 different kinds of foods.
I did, and none of them were right until I got to the 4th one, and the 4th one was right. And then I was like, oh, dang, it's time to leave.
Jeez.
Wash my dishes because some people don't. And I washed my dishes, and then I left.
That is true. I have not used many dishes forever because I just throw away plates.
Yeah.
So that's y'all's problem.
Yeah.
Before I was putting dishes away because I was using the dishes, but then I stopped, and it looks like nobody's ever moved the dishes since.
Yeah, well, I think I find it meh now because the same dishes that we wash, that me and Cody wash and leave them to dry, we immediately use them again. So there's no point in really putting them away.
Dude, and I've only used those blue bowls like twice in the past few weeks.
I immediately use them again. It's like the pots and the same bowls, I use them again.
Yeah, the pot and my little ramen bowl is what I use for everything.
Yeah, so we use the same dishes over and over, so it's fine. But that's past time. I just left him and he was like, hey man, I had to scrape off Chef Boyardee off the pot. Don't do it again, man.
Yeah, that time I just forgot because again it was like
5
or 6 in the morning.
Yeah, that's why, because you like to have meals in the middle of the night. So
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, just don't forget.
All right.
It's also tasted. It smelled nasty, by the way. But Chef Boyardee having to scrape it up. I'm like,
Yeah.
Italian cuisine isn't that good after a few hours.
I mean, it is all just cheese in the form of noodles. So.
Yeah, and cheese goes
Yep.
after a while.
Because it's made of milk.
But in that sense, I had a kitchen mishap, a kitchen nightmare, you would say. So,
Okay.
It's fucking raw.
so with that, I wanted to start out. Have any of you all
Milk
had
is fucking
some
raw.
terrible experiences within or in around a kitchen before? Could be anywhere else, any house, any workplace. Just a kitchen mishap.
This wasn't necessarily in a kitchen, but this was at my old job.
Yeah.
When I worked at a Chinese restaurant.
Restaurants have kitchens.
They do.
Yeah, but it wasn't in the kitchen. So we made like boba teas at the time, and at the time nobody taught me how, and I remember seeing somebody do it without ice.
Yeah.
Never do it without ice because
Yeah.
the thing will explode on you because all the heat and pressure and stuff.
Oh, wow.
It exploded on me like 3 times in front of a whole line of customers, and my entire like arms, both my arms got singed. It was terrible.
That
I was in
sounds pretty
pain.
bad.
I was in pain for the rest of the day. My arms were all red. You could see like or you were able to see back then red streaks from like where the like boiling hot, because this was like 112-degree water.
Wow.
It was terrible. So you could see like the red streaks of where the water was and everything. And so some of the tables that I had looked at my arms. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Well, it's just part of the job."
Just part of it.
No, I'd say you
Such
were.
a vague answer.
I'd say you were in the kitchen because a lot of the stuff there, it was making drinks and stuff like that. So you were in the kitchen. You were making a meal. A boba tea could be considered a snack. So
Yeah.
you were in the kitchen.
I was like, no, I just burned myself making the boba teas because we were supposed to make it, but nobody taught me. Like I explained to the customer, nobody taught me how, and I told them everything what happened. They're like, oh my god, you poor thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it comes with the. It basically comes with the.
Don't
job.
tell me
Like,
poor thing. Leave a tip and we'll call it a day.
Exactly.
You should lean into it. Like, I am poor. Please
I
fix
am
that.
poor. Like,
Dude, it was so funny. This one time, actually, I'm not sure if I talked. I think I talked about this on a previous episode, so I'll just briefly mention it. I had a professor for conducting. He shows up at the restaurant, and I explained to him why I haven't been doing my work.
yeah.
And he was like, I recommend you just quit this job, maybe take out a loan from the school, and just focus on school. And that's it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, I live on my own. I need to pay rent. Shit. So the dude leaves me a freaking like $20 tip, and I'm like, what the? All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was funny.
See that?
Sympathy, Omar.
Sympathy. And did you pass this class?
No.
Of course you didn't.
It was weird because I took the final like exam thing.
Yeah.
I messed up in it, but
Yeah.
he said, you know what, it's like you're good. Don't worry about it. Like you're good. And I was thinking, did I actually pass? Like, does that mean I passed or whatever? Because he said you're good. Like there's nothing else to worry about. You're like, he made it seem like I passed. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. I failed the class, and I'm like, well, that was confusing.
Maybe he didn't mean you're good. He just meant you're done.
Maybe.
Because I think I remember going through my transcript and trying to figure out the classes that I was supposed to take this upcoming semester, which is
Dang, your
next week.
script is a trans. I didn't
And
know
so I'm looking at it, and so spending around almost a year and a half in online classes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember anything that I took. So I'm looking at all these classes. I'm like, I took a lot during COVID. I'm like, when did I take my conducting classes? And I'm just sitting there for like minutes. I'm like, I don't remember taking conducting, but I took conducting 1 and 2 during COVID.
Wow.
So I don't remember any of it. I remember what I learned, but I don't remember taking the class.
That's hilarious.
So all of this, I know what to do, but I
Mhm.
don't remember sitting in front of a class and being like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's in my transcript. Oh,
It's in your transcript. It'll just come naturally. Once you get in front of any group of people, you'll just get the urge to conduct.
You're just gonna be like, okay.
They're gonna go to a food court, and you're just gonna start conducting.
Well, my trumpet professor, he told me, Omar, you're such an emotional guy that it's both a good thing and a bad thing that when you're gonna be in front of your class of students, this is gonna come so naturally to you. But we need to work on what's going on here. I'm like, I know. No, basically, he's like, it's like when it comes to here, you're this. When it comes to right here, a little bit of this. And we just got to work on it.
That's just great.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
a hold of yourself.
So you had a kitchen mishap, Freddie?
I have in this apartment
Oh.
multiple times learning
What?
how to cook.
Oh.
This is like the first times I went on a let's learn how to cook journey a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
All the times have ended with me just being defeated. So the first time I tried making grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
I burned the hell out of those sandwiches.
Nice.
I had the
Nice.
pan too hot. I didn't have enough butter.
Nice.
And I just did not get them off the pan in time, and so I just have 2 really bad sandwiches. The third one was all right; I could eat it, and then I want to say I tried a 4th one, and that one was like the most perfect one because I figured it out. And then, but yeah, so I just had a bunch of burnt bread.
That's why I always decide to toast the slices because Cody's had my I guess they are grilled cheeses, but what I do is I put ham on the pan and I put the shredded cheese inside both, and then I close them. And while I put the bread to toast maybe a few minutes before the ham's actually done, because if I do that first, it's gonna be cold by the time this is done.
Mhm.
And so it's melted cheese that's just glues this ham together. And then I put them between the slices and I put butter because I recognize that maybe that might happen.
Yeah.
So also for the sake of time, because sometimes we would go run and come back, and there's still classes to go to. So for the
Yeah.
sake of time and a quick breakfast, but a good breakfast.
How long has it been since you've made one?
I made one like 2 months ago, because I was like feeling nostalgic. Also, I put a bunch of cayenne pepper on the cheese on mine
All
because
right.
it tastes great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need just some flavor besides just a bunch of cheese and ham. So that extra little kick, it's
Mhm.
just right for me.
You
Not for everyone, but it's right for me.
Extra little kick dumps the whole freaking thing out there.
Well, when I say extra little kick, maybe
Well, if you put hot
it-
Cheetos in there.
I'm not saying it
Oh,
is,
yeah.
but
all the hot sauce on the hot Cheetos and everything.
I'm not saying is what I
Overdosing
do.
your ramen.
But there may be a little bit of when I'm putting the seasoning on there. But
Especially in his ramen.
oh well, yeah.
You kick that shit in there.
Well, there's got to be other flavors besides just chicken.
No, it's chicken flavored.
Well, it is chicken flavored.
You get chicken.
Yeah, but you add what you want on there
If
too.
it's chicken flavor, you only get the chicken.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They just make it. I make it at home.
I just want.
I don't like to disrespect the people I get my food from.
Well, you know what?
It's like going to a chef and being like, you know what? F you. And then you just put some more stuff,
You
whatever
know
on it.
what?
And they're like, I'm the chef. I make this. I had an artistic craft here. And you just spat on it.
I don't know how artistic you can get with home ramen, but you want to know what I do?
What do you do?
I put just enough water for 2 portions because I like to eat 2 portions of ramen.
Okay.
And what I do is I don't like to put too much water because eventually the broth will overpower the noodles. So I only put just enough to where it's
The
just
broth will overpower the noodle.
Yeah,
Noodles have no
yeah.
flavor.
Yeah, no. What I mean is like overflow, and I'll end up having too much broth for the amount of noodles that I have.
Yes.
So my good way to counteract that is I will put both bricks inside the pot first, and then I'll fill up the water to where it's just barely going over the second one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll put it on the cooker. Because if then it's just too much broth, and sometimes it won't even fit in the bowl. So to prevent that, I do that. I let it start to boil, let the noodles just get nice and soft.
Okay.
And then you throw in the chicken first. Let the chicken sit there for a little bit because that's obviously that's a primary flavor. I'm with you there. It should taste like chicken still.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's when I dump a bunch of cayenne pepper on there. And
Shameless.
1 smack of lemon pepper seasoning because you got to have some.
Shameless.
Lemon with spicy, it tastes great. Acidity with acidity, boy, do they go together.
But you know what I think?
Cholesterol.
I think that's damn good noodles.
They-
I was,
they're
that
amazing.
whole other spiel. I was honestly just going off of whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really believe that because I pour lemon. I had lemon in most things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't put too much lemon pepper seasoning because I've done the mistake.
Lemon pepper's really good.
Of putting a little bit
Yeah.
too much once, and it overpowers.
Every time I go to cons, I always
overdose
put
my
lemon
stuff
pepper.
in lemon pepper. It's
If I go to cons, it's cilantro lime with spicy dragon. It's lime and some
Cilantro lime
sauce.
is good.
Cilantro lime is good.
Yeah.
And you can't go wrong with putting lime on spicy stuff. It's just right.
Yeah, before I used to always get the lemon, cilantro lime, teriyaki, and sweet soy.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been trying to branch out lately with the sauces that they have.
Yeah.
And so I've been taking out, replacing some stuff. And so I've started getting an interest in the honey citrus and sweet orange. Because those are actually kind of good. It's got more of like a sweet spicy.
Mm.
It really goes more into that Asian aspect that I like.
I hate that. Do you like sweet spicy?
I mean, spicy is not really a flavor. It's just
No.
a hurt.
Oh, yeah. So, I guess what I meant to say. Do you like sweet and savory? My bad, not sweet and spicy. Do you like sweet and savory? Like if you go to a Chinese place, are you okay with that like sweet and sour kind of stuff, kind of chicken?
Now, what about roasted ham?
Wow.
That's glazed.
I don't like that.
That's.
I don't like when like honey's on ham.
I hope we both go to the same place and you get a portion of sliced ham for me. That way you just give it to me.
Okay.
That way I don't have to get extra.
That's like the only thing they serve. But I mean, I think it's cool. I think one time they had like honeyed ham, but it was like all dry and the honey was barely on it.
Ah.
But I didn't like it. Like
I mean, it was dry and there was barely any honey.
whatever there was, I was scraping it off as best as I could and rubbing it with a napkin, so it would take
Mhm.
all the honey out. So I could be like,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, I just never got over that. Ever since I was a kid, my food palate was groomed by my mom, where it was like, if it's meat, it's gonna taste like meat, and if anything, it can be enhanced with peppers, bell peppers, serranos, chile de árbol, stuff that makes it hurt on the way down. So
you can always just make everything spicy.
Yes,
exactly. So why can't you just get spicy sweet?
Because my parents were they were like, what is this sweet? Sweet? Why is this chicken sweet?
Why is this chicken? Isn't that just mole?
I mean, yeah. Well, no. Oh yeah, you could do that. But I guess it's just the way that, the Chinese food, we never really fond of it. Also, it's like they don't got Mexican rice at Chinese places.
You can just get fried rice.
It ain't the same.
I know it's not the same, but it's fried.
It's still very far from the same.
Yeah, dude, I love the orange rice, the one with tomato sauce.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's good.
I love it when my grandma makes it.
Mexican rice,
dude. Freaking Juan, shout out to Juan. He makes hella good rice.
I believe
his rice so freaking good. He's got I think he puts some cilantro in there.
Yeah.
He's got it's been a while. I don't really remember. Yeah, but the way he makes it, it's good. It's top.
My grandma and my mom, they would make this. It was just very basic, just carne molida on rice, just very grinded up meat on rice. And I would eat 4 bowls of that.
Grinded up meat, yeah, that's good. That sounds good.
And my mom would just be like, "Why do you like this so much? It's just 2 things in a bowl." I was like, "Yes, it's 2 things in a bowl, and it tastes great."
Yeah. Hey, it's a mixture. It's like a symphony. You don't just listen to the woodwinds. Yeah. You don't just listen to the brass. You have it all come together.
Yeah.
I got that from Ratatouille.
No, yeah, exactly. That's when I was about to say Ratatouille. When I would take a scoop of that meat just mixed with the rice, it's just like I would see the fireworks, I would see the swirls, I would see strawberry, whatever it was. He was probably high.
Probably.
It was elaborate.
Yeah.
He's like this man. Look at him. He's experiencing fireworks as he's eating that.
Look at him. Look at that rat.
Look at him. Look at the rat. Look at the rat.
Nibble away.
Do the turtle face.
What?
Do the turtle face.
What face is that?
You know which one.
No.
Oh, also.
Yeah.
Second kitchen story.
Yeah.
I almost burned his apartment down.
How?
Nice.
I was that skillet.
Yeah.
I was trying to heat it up.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get it real hot.
Yeah.
I think there was some stuff under, the little catcher thing.
Yeah.
From other people's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
It was so hot it caught fire. There was a little fire.
A little bit.
There was a little fire. It wasn't like a big fire. It wasn't it wasn't like oil on fire or whatever.
Okay.
Because there was nothing in the skillet.
Okay.
And so a little flame shows up at the bottom, and I'm like, that's not right. So then
far from it.
Yeah. So then I turn it off. I mean, obviously the fire's still there. It's still really hot. And then I'm just like, damn, okay. So I had to try and move the skillet. I get a rag so I don't burn myself. Put it on another burner that's away. Because it's still hot.
Yeah.
It wasn't as hot as I wanted it to be, but it's still hot. And then the fire is going. And so I'm thinking, I know I can't put water on this. So what do I do? And so I got a rag. I tried whipping at it. I tried slapping it. Yeah. I gave it a good 1-2. It got lower, but it was burning under the burner, so I couldn't actually hit where the source was.
Yeah,
and so I start panicking, and I quickly go to Google because I don't know anything, and I'm like, Google, help me out here. My house is burning down, and it all started with the stove. What do I do? And then so Google's like, hey man. So you could try use a rag and whip it. I'm like, I already did that. It's like, don't use water. I know that. Okay, get some baking soda. I think we have baking soda. I look where I last remember us having baking soda. No baking soda.
Oh.
I look in your drawer just in case you moved it. No baking soda.
Yeah.
There's no baking soda anywhere in this apartment. I've been meaning to buy baking soda, but I'm poor. and so after realizing that blunder, I'm like, okay, there's gotta be something else. But then it says that if it was on a pot or whatever, I guess they assumed the fire is on the pan. Mm-hmm. You put a lid over it. And so I thought about it and I was like, I could probably just put a lid over the burner. And so I got one of the lids, put it over the burner. It starts dying down. That is crisis averted. It eventually dies out. I leave it on there for an extra 5 minutes after the fire is out. if you notice on one of the lids, it's got a burn mark on it. I tried getting rid of that burn mark. It's still there. So if you look for that, you will see that I almost burned this place down.
10 out of 10.
That's always like the first thought, because I mean, yeah, the three whatever it's essentials for a fire is the fuel, the air, and the spark, whatever.
Yeah.
And so you remove the air, and then you're good. So I thought you were gonna end up just putting the rag over the fire and just letting that just consume its extinguish this epicenter of it. That's
Rag
usually the
catches
best thing to
fire.
do.
I think the rag would have caught on fire.
Not if you do it like immediately, it's just like just go shh.
It was going all right. What are you trying to do? Like put morphine on the fire? What the hell is that? Go to sleep. Don't think about what's happening to you right now.
Like those videos on where people are like shutting a candle, like if they're choking the candle, like
Someone's like, here's how you put out a fire. Just cause a bigger fire.
Yeah. And then you put I see what you mean though. Put the fire on the rag, and then I just throw the rag away. I'll throw it in the dumpster. Make a dumpster fire.
You should have grabbed one of the trash bags and just been like, all right, get in there. Out you go.
Yeah.
Just
so,
a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So if you look at the stove, the bottom, the front,
So the one that
left
we all
one,
use?
the one that we all use, under it is burned to hell. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you noticed.
Yeah, hell.
Yeah. I think it was because of that fire.
Yeah.
I've also been meaning to replace that bottom thing, but I don't know how to replace it. So,
Neither do
there's
I.
Can we
that.
just get a new stove?
Because the oven doesn't.
I don't
it's just
know.
Terrible.
I don't know if we can.
Hey, yo,
Because
landlord.
if we do, it might be something that we have to like also pay for.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
It's a stove.
they could say that it was working before we moved in, and that we at some point broke it, so they could just put it on us. I'm just thinking of it legally speaking. Kind of like how Omero busted his window.
Yeah.
He said they're gonna put the bill on top of their rent for the month after. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that was not for anything that we did to that stove is more accidental. For anything he did to that window, though it was accidental, that was very clearly their fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they hadn't even spent a day there. They hadn't even fully moved in.
They didn't. Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that the first day?
Yeah, it was their
Yeah.
first day, and then
That's amazing.
Brianna, don't break your windows.
please.
Just don't.
Don't.
If there's a fly on there, don't use your hand.
Don't
Don't
tell
use a
all-
boot. Don't use anything that's solid. Just like get a fly swatter.
Yeah.
It-
Don't tell
it sa-
Omar to
it
kill a
saves
fly,
lives.
because then you'll cause more wall damage.
No, that was because the rain had deteriorated the walls, and that's why when I pushed the wall to smack the fly, it caved in because of the wall behind was already damaged.
If I remember correctly, you still missed the fly after that, right?
No, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Mm.
I took it. I took it with the wall with it though. I took
It's
part of
now
the wall with
buried
it.
in the wall.
took
Where
the
the
wall
wall
with it.
things are.
Yeah, the fly.
The fly.
The fly.
My goodness.
All right, Cody, give me more kitchen mishaps. You've just been sitting there eating your peacefully.
Yeah.
Throw a monkey into the wrench.
There was a look. They say they'll try not to.
Let's see what happens. Make this a little bigger.
There was a little moment while you guys were going back and forth, and I was just eating, and it just looked like me, just like, Mom, Dad, stop fighting.
It's not too bad. He's just.
You ain't sure.
Is it a? Is
You
this?
ain't
Is
sure.
the chat a little small to you guys?
What?
Is it a
Maybe
little
it's 'cause
small
we're
to you?
not
guys?
blind.
I don't know. I can't see it.
Over here, is it a little
The
small to you
messages
guys?
are few and far between. So you
That's
can't
fine.
really
We
tell.
can see it here. It's not. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The stove might be a problem, though. What's up with the stove?
What's wrong with the stove?
Yeah, man, what's wrong with the stove? I thought it'd be better than ours.
I mean, they probably just improved the restroom thing.
I ain't good with cooking, so if I burn the apartment down, my
Oh,
bad.
that's why.
Oh, okay. No, that's not the stove's problem.
Yeah, that's
Listen, Brianna, we still live here. We're like 2 doors down. Don't burn the apartment down.
Just you'll be fine. You cook way more than I do. You should be fine. Should
There you
be
go.
fine.
Just have
Oh,
baking soda on hand.
Yes.
If you put in a Pop-Tart and you don't burn the Pop-Tart, you're fine.
All right.
Palpable.
Palpable.
Palpatine.
Palpatine?
Oh,
Do you like your Palpatine with or without pulp?
it's treason then.
It's in season then.
Wait, so juice without pulp or with pulp?
Before I used to be with pulp. Recently, I'm more like without pulp.
Oh, dude, I hate pulp.
I'm very okay with certain ones that do have pulp, if like that is what gives it more of the flavor. There's some like maybe orange juice with pulp is not that great
Mm-hmm.
because the pulp itself does not have the flavor.
Uh-huh.
It's the juice.
Yeah.
Now let's say something like melon, natural water. Part of the pulp actually carries some of the flavor too, so it's a little bit of an enhancement, and it's not like it's smooth. It's not like other citrus fruits are gonna get stuck in your throat as it's coming down. I'll buy a big box of baking soda first. There you go.
Baking soda. I got
Baking soda.
What was that from again? I don't remember.
I don't know. I was just mimicking you.
I feel like that was from a thing.
Oh, it was from that song that turned into a meme on Vine. What was it called?
I don't know.
A potato flew around
no.
my room. I know it's not. There's no mention of,
Yeah.
of baking soda.
You had a potato float around your room, man?
Yeah.
Dang, dude. I wish I could have seen that. I was probably knocked out for it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you're asleep most of the day.
Yeah.
Well,
It's freaking great.
Let's talk about that. Why do you do that?
It's not
Why do you
that
do that? Like, no, like in all honesty, why?
I hate
Why?
the daytime. Every time I go out and it's like morning or whatever, I hate it because it's just too bright for me. I hate daytime in
So
general.
do you ever go out at night?
I like going out at night, but there's all like the skate park and everything's closed at night, and I'll get kicked out again for a second time. I remember one night I was like at the little park where the skate park is, just chilling there. I was on the phone with number one fan just because we're just chilling and hanging out and talking. And so I was there.
His number's here. No, I'm just joking.
No, don't you freaking dare. But we're just chilling, talking. I'm just chilling in my car because I wanted to draw and I just wanted to be peaceful in a quiet night by myself, away from everybody. And then a white SUV is like circling my car recording, and then a few minutes later the cops show up and kick me out. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I never go anywhere at night anymore, which is why I'm always down here at night. I just want peace and quiet, and I want to see the stores.
Yeah, your mistake is that you live in the city.
Yeah.
There's not many places you can go
Yeah.
to just do that.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, I remember in La Villa, my friend and I, we were at a park late at night,
Yeah.
and police came by and they were like, "Hey, you can't be here because it's closed. Also, do you know anything about some people that like did graffiti over in this whatever?" And we're like, "No." We both got tickets
For just hanging around.
for loitering when the park was closed.
Ah, I see.
Although mine was able to get not needing to pay for, but it was just like, we got out
So
of
it was
it.
waived.
Yes, I will not say why on camera, but my friend, we could not assist with that.
Did
So
you
he
do
had
a
to pay.
favor?
I did not do a favor. I have connections.
Ah.
Yes, and so
He knows the butler to Chris Hansen,
Interesting.
yes.
who's the cousin of La Villa's mayor, I guess.
Interesting.
No,
Oh.
but you're on the right track.
Oh, okay.
so yeah, but yeah, so that's kind of how that was dealt with. That was already like a long time ago. I was when I was still in high school. But yeah, so ever since then, we stopped hanging out there late at night.
Mm.
Yeah, you can't do nothing unless you're on your own property, and we live in an apartment, so we don't have a property.
Yeah.
Yeah. That night, I knew exactly why the cops showed up, and it was because he said one thing. He said, "Is there anybody else in the car with you, sir?" I'm like, "I know what this is." Because to save like gas and to save my battery, I just turn it all off,
Yeah.
and I'm just there chilling in my car. So when you don't have the fan or any circulation, the windows fog up.
Mhm.
That
So
looks-
he assumed.
whoever recorded my car assumed that I was doing something very not appropriate for the public in my car with somebody else. And that wasn't the case.
Yeah,
Well, at least you didn't get a ticket. I mean, when I
told him there's nobody in the car and I'm literally just on my phone with my friend. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay, cool, but the park's closed, so get out. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Because, I mean, when I have chosen to decide to have some time to myself and I don't want to be home, I would go to the pool and have gummies while I'm just sitting at the edge of the pool enjoying some music. That is perfectly within what we can do.
Yeah, you just
And
chill
I
at
can
the
just be
pool.
by myself. It's even better at summer nights because when I come from work all sweaty and everything, a dip in the pool is perfect.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So I'd say,
It's not very private for personal phone calls.
yeah, but you know,
depending on what direction they go.
yeah. But I recommend it. You don't know what you're missing out on. It's just nice to have a snack while you're at the poolside in the middle of the night. It's mostly quiet aside from the occasional train horn at 12
Mm-hmm.
and the 2 to 3 hour runs from the emergency vehicles. But
Yeah.
aside from that, it's pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't forget the guy who likes to speed up and down here at like
Oh,
7 in the
yeah.
morning.
That's always a constant. That's what I still remember that one time where a cop like came up to the car while me and Omar were just there parked at the university. We were like eating snacks or something, right? And then my car just broke down. So we
Oh,
told
yeah,
the
your car
cops,
did
oh, yeah,
broke
my
down.
car broke down. That's why we're stuck here.
Yeah.
They were nice.
Oh no,
Yeah.
my car
It's
is broken.
Your car's
God.
broken a lot of times.
My entire the one stimulus that I got just all went to my car. It was terrible. I hated it.
Well, it's because you're either with it or without it. It's a
Yeah.
choice. It's a
Yeah.
choice. But often than not, you don't have a choice. You kind of need it.
Yeah.
Car is a need. It's an expensive baby.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, hell expensive.
But at least it works now.
At least
Cut to
it works
tomorrow
now.
where it breaks down on the expressway.
You've had to
Yes.
change a tire on the expressway.
No, it popped on my way up the expressway and I immediately went down and parked somewhere and then I had to turn or change it.
Yeah, I've had that. My tire pot. This is my older car, the black
Mhm.
one,
Yeah.
and the freaking. It was on the right side. I want to say it was the back right or the front. I can't remember. I think it might have actually been the front, but yeah, it popped on the spot where you're passing the Bird Ogden Arena and you're getting
Yeah.
the curve. You're going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it popped there, so I had to take that exit on Olana,
Mm-hmm.
and I was at that stripe. It happened on a Sunday morning.
Hmm.
So I had a couple. I had a couple people with me, and I had King's Kingdom that day too. So
Hey, I ain't making it.
yeah, I remember just letting him know that hey, it's not happening. Car is not in condition.
It's like I swear my priorities are 100% towards getting there, but not this time.
Yeah, yeah. So they just needed to find another person thing.
You just
Yeah,
tap a
and
couple
of course-
shoulders is not that hard.
Yeah, and of course, freaking, it's a Sunday, so a lot of car places are closed.
They are.
So the good thing my mom knew of a person that still works on Sundays, except it was on Monte Cristo.
Mm.
So I had to go down, go down the road, hit Jackson, drive all the way down to Monte Cristo, and that's where I got the shop.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty good. He's got like different like thingy there. He's got a good thing going.
He's middle of nowhere, but he's got something going.
It's not too bad. It's fine.
I think, speaking of middle of nowhere, I think when I went to go get my first and second vaccine shots,
Mhm.
it was actually at my high school.
Yeah.
And so the usual route that I take to go to my hometown
Yeah.
is going through the expressway and once I get there, it's a
Mhm.
little bit, the high school is kind of on the outskirts of the city on the opposite side. So if I were to go my regular way, it would be kind of like do a whole loop around. You
Mhm.
have to get to this actual city and then take like a right and go off for like another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I checked to see, is there any other back roads beside the back road that I'm already on?
Yeah.
Turns out there is.
The back road to the back road.
Yeah, there's a back road to the original back road. So, and this one, it's much more peaceful. Like there's way less cars, obviously.
Mhm.
And so,
It's because the back road became too mainstream.
Yeah.
It just became a road.
yeah, because eventually this back road, if you follow it enough, it eventually merges with the expressway.
Yeah.
So that's just how it ends up. But if you take this back road, it's much more peaceful. it comes to but the reason I say middle nowhere is because at a certain point you're going 60, 70 the whole way through until you start slowing down, like at a 50, 40, and 30, and then you end up at a town that's literally.
Then you end up at a 0.
Yeah.
Basically,
you're stuck.
Because you get to this tiny town where it's just a gas station, someone's little ranch, and that's it, and a red light. There's nothing for miles that way, nothing for miles that way, in either direction. There's nothing. It's just this gas station that the pumps don't even look like they work, but it's open, and across from that is just some little ranch, and it just says stop, and then you go, and like you have to start losing speed like about 5 minutes back, where it says like, oh, you're coming up on a town, like start slowing down, down, and then by the time you get there, it's like slow down for this. Then you just keep going, and the rest of the way it's normal speed. Because everything else looks like if there is a town off to the side somewhere. Yeah. Or, you're in a town area. Uh-huh. But this time it was like, why did I have to slow down for this small? It's not even a town. It looks like 5 people live here. But it looked like the genuine middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. There was barely any trees. To this day, every time I've gone through the road maybe like 3 times. By the way, perfect route to take if you want to just listen to like an hour podcast. All right. That's exactly what I did.
Listen to our podcast.
No.
Why not?
Listen to our podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
Which you can. I won't, but because I do.
Give us the more views, man.
No, because it ain't genuine views. It would just be me.
Hey, views are views. Doesn't matter if they're genuine.
I care if they're genuine.
Just like sponsorship.
Also, this is a genuine certified view.
Also, the whole, I listen to other podcasts because it gives me inspiration and ways that I can carry conversations and the way I can be a better host. Because a lot of it, I can talk forever, but there's a proper way into introducing stuff. There's a better way I can be at like being entertaining. So I like to surround myself with entertaining podcasts and figure out how they do it. Because I have not figured it out, and I want to keep getting better at it.
Got a couple of recommendations to toss up.
Ooh.
We're going to plug people.
I don't. I just have 2. I just listen to 2.
Oh, that's a couple. I asked for a couple.
Well, would you look at that? I listen to the RT podcast and the Smoshcast. The Smoshcast, they're on like a hiatus. It's been almost... Oh, dang. It's almost been a year since they went on hiatus. Wow. I think they're just done, but they went a good 100 and some episodes. Wow, okay. So they did pretty well.
Can we hit 100 episodes or more?
I don't know. I mean,
we're not yet. Well, what are we at?
We 57. Are. This is 57.
Dang, 57. Tune in the next 43 episodes from now. Episode 100.
43 weeks.
That'll be in October, I want to say. That'll be in October. Which is probably when her second anniversary. Yeah, second anniversary, 100 episode.
Dang, it's all lining up.
It is lining up, kind of. I know we took a break for like a week or so. We should be like, if we were to keep going consistently, which I don't want to. Like at some point, I get tired. Yeah. Which is why we needed a break. Because if anyone's ever done this for like a week, they know it takes a lot to do.
It just takes quite a bit of doing this, doing that, getting the faces, getting the voices, getting the lights.
Getting camera. The masks. You see this guy? He ain't real. This is a wig too. This is a wig too.
That's actually Mr. Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins all along.
I see.
Look at him.
And speaking of entertainment, Freddie, did you hear Netflix is making a Scott Pilgrim anime series?
Netflix and chill?
Yeah.
Wait, Scott Pilgrim animated series.
Anime series.
Anime or animated?
Anime.
That's cool. That's cool. Honestly, there's a lot left out of the movie. There's a lot left out of the movie that the comics have, and I hope they stick to the comics pretty well.
I hope
because damn, the comics hella good.
Because I read it earlier that Netflix is picking up or is already in production of a Scott Pilgrim anime series based off of the graphic novels. So it should be good.
Oh God, I hope so. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
I would really like it if they went with the style that's on the comics.
Oh, dude, yes, that would be perfect. I would. Any other style, I'm not gonna
anime style is not bad, but if they were to stick with like the original, kind of like the way
Brian Lee O'Malley, he's got the good style.
Kind of like the way the Peanuts did, like their 3D animated movie that just looks very much like the original cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Have you seen that?
It's like the original cartoons, but with shaders.
The other new Diary of the Wimpy Kid movie that came out on Netflix or on Hulu. Forgot what it was.
What?
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, I know you're talking
It's
about.
on Disney Plus. They made a new animated Diary of the Wimpy Kid movie. It just retells the first book all over again,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's bland. It's all right. It's about like an hour. Hour and 10. So it's me and Jesus saw it. Animation's decent, but it just, if you've seen the first live and the other live action versions,
Yeah.
you've seen this movie already. It's literally like the first live action movie all over again because they
Like
need to cover the first book,
Yeah.
and so it's getting the sequel, but I don't want it. It's just, I don't even know.
Just let sleeping dogs lie, man.
I don't know why they keep bringing this franchise back.
I still remember when everybody raged over the new Roderick.
The new Roger? Oh.
The second live action Roderick.
Oh,
when they
okay.
rebooted it.
The one that, yeah, I know which one you mean. Yeah.
Everybody was like, not my Roderick, and canceling the crap out of him.
Well, what's because the cast of the original live action was actually pretty good. They were pretty funny, and they were a pretty good match for what they had. But when I think one of the funniest things that me and Jesus were laughing at is that I'm pretty sure this movie was produced during COVID, because I think especially the mom, she sounded like she was recording in her closet, while everyone else sounded pretty decent.
Oh.
But she was the most obvious, where everyone's maybe talking like from this distance to the microphone and everything, and then she's like right here.
That's great.
The best thing is she gets few lines far in between.
Yeah.
So you really have to like kind of pay attention. But what she is speaking for a while, you can kind of tell. Aside from that, Roderick, I think he only gets like 2 lines, and then you never see him in the film again.
Mm-hmm.
I think they brought back the same voice actor that did Heffley in the original, because you get the same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think in this one, it's just as creepy when you go to his house. They do the whole thing where it's like, I put my booger on this note to say sorry, and Greg touches it. You don't remember that?
I try not to.
Yeah. That's something we try to forget.
Oh, come on. You guys had to like pick your boogers when you were kids or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I didn't. You're talking
Those are
about
times we try to forget.
remembering it from the movie. I don't remember the movie.
And even then, those are times we try to forget.
Yeah, who picks their nose anymore?
Well, apparently, like the farthest you can remember is like 4 or 5 years old. So there's some people that I know that say that they have memories from they were babies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just saw a bright hole and I swam out. You know.
Okay, not that far back. It's like babies. Also, they don't swim out; they get pulled out.
Hey man, this guy is just built different.
That sounds like the
way.
mom's built different.
Yeah, it sounds like the mom's built.
They're both built different.
Yeah.
This baby knew how to swim.
Also, I think
Mom
it's
was the
I think it's
ocean.
for the best that we don't remember,
Yeah.
because that would be traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, also, I feel like a lot of the memories would just be me sleeping, or just
Yeah, babies sleep a lot.
saying stupid things as a child.
Yeah.
I'm glad I just remember. I think realistically, I only have memories as far maybe 6 or 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good estimate. 6 or 7. Make some good stupid decisions. Made some bad stupid decisions, and now I'm an adult for now.
And what's your next stupid decision?
Now you're just a culmination of your stupidity.
I am a cool.
On Pop-Tarts.
Oh sure, I'll take one.
Yeah, you can finish it.
Well, I guess maybe one of my classic stupid decisions was had decided to race my cousin and trying so hard that when I won, I did not stop running to where I tripped and hit the corner of a cinder block that was holding gates closed, and I impacted right between my eyes, right here, which is why I have a scar.
Uh-huh.
And so so from my perspective, I trip and I just see it's kind of like a camera just rapid zooming into the corner of the cinder block,
Yeah.
and I just feel like that's all I feel, and I hear a bump. I hear that's all
Yeah.
I hear, and so I'm like in a state of shock because I'm just sitting there not
Yeah.
feeling anything, and I just hear screaming from this side of my face because all my family was sitting on the porch of my aunt's house.
Yeah.
And I hear my mom screaming, and I just like go like that, and I just see my hand is just covered in blood. But I'm still just sitting there like, oh, I'm still just like sitting there from the impact, and I'm still like in the state of shock because I still can't process what's going on.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm being lifted. My mom carries me. So I feel like I'm being lifted and taken to the truck.
Yeah.
And then I look and I go to the rearview mirror and I look and I'm like, there's a hole in my face. And so fast forward to, they take me to the hospital first. And they, I think they couldn't treat me there in the emergency room. They said go to the clinic. But for now, this is what we're going to do. They grabbed a cotton ball, stuffed it within the hole to stop the bleeding. But they had to find a way to keep the cotton ball from not moving and staying there.
Yeah.
So they decided to tape it down. But the Scotch tape went over my eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
So we go to the clinic and we waited for about 4 or 5 hours before I actually went in.
Yeah.
And so my parents stayed there throughout the night until I actually got admitted, like around maybe 6 or 7 a.m.
Okay.
And they got to get here and stitch it up, right? But they have to get rid of the cotton ball, so the tape had to go, and so did most of my eyebrows with it.
Wow. That's funny.
And so as they start stitching, my mom is still like freaked out about this whole thing that's going on.
Yeah.
And she passes out as they're stitching my wound back together. And so here I am, young little, probably like 8-year-old Omar, just happy to be back at school with half of his eyebrows gone.
Yeah.
And so for the next 2-3 days, I actually had to go home early because I felt so nauseated.
Yeah.
And my left eye kept hurting. And it's like I kind of felt like I was seeing like a bluish, purplish filter out of my left eye. I guess because of the impact, it was messing with like whatever was going on here.
Yeah.
So I was nauseated, and I only went to school for maybe half day for 2 days straight because I was like,
Jeez Louise.
like, I'm just like, yep, that's 2 + 2. So
you gotta make sure you know something.
yeah, I knew something, and so. Yeah, I went home for early for 2 days straight. That was not a pretty experience.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest to me having like an injury compared to like hurting, breaking your arm, stuff like that. I've never had anything broken, but that's the closest thing I've had to that because that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
That was a bad idea. I guess I just didn't stop with enough time to where I died before I tripped and did that.
I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really think about anything beyond.
Well, we did stupid stuff at that house. We would go to the second floor where there was common to have beehives there in the summer, and we would either throw rocks at them, spray them down with the water hose, and then just run back inside because it was a patio, it was a balcony, and so the only way to get out to the balcony was through the windows. Yeah. So we would peek out, spray it, and then run back in before a bee got into his room. Mm-hmm. Or something else we would do. We used to watch a lot of Silent Library on the TV. Okay. We didn't have the way to determine punishments. Yeah. So what we would do is we'd play rock, paper, scissors. The loser would have to do a punishment. Okay. And it would range anything as dumb from like getting smacked on the hand to walking barefoot on dry leaves, jumping off of the roof of the shed, which is pretty tall, and it hurt. So there's several room for injury in that house, but that was the one that took that, I took a toll for, took the heaviest price for.
Yeah, that sounds like quite the experience. Also, by the way, hi Cam.
Hello.
I noticed it earlier, but that was in the middle of him reminiscing about his traumatic experience of getting shot in the head.
I saw it too. I didn't get shot in the head. There was a hole in my face, though. There was a hole in my face. And it was kind of disturbing to see as a kid. But then again, I was in shock, so I didn't really understand what was going on.
As a kid, there's a lot of times where you just get hurt. Like, there's one time me and one of my cousins were playing in the hallway of my grandparents' house. And we were playing football, but it's like one of us has a turn with the ball and the other has to try to tackle him. He grabs me from my shoulder. I just go like this, and he went flying into like a box full of like stuffed animals, and it was the funniest thing ever. I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, is he okay? Because you just see him like turn horizontal in the air and fly into the box. I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
I go up to check up on him. He's like, that was awesome. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Jeez Louise.
There was another time where it was the same game but a different day, and both of us fell because his foot was in front of mine and we both tripped. Yeah. Dude face planted on the floor. There's like a blood spatter there from like his busted lip. I'm like, are you okay?
Jeez Louise.
He's like, yeah, man, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then when we were wrestling, like in the back room, like my grandpa's man cave, kind of, because there's a bar back there, a pool table, everything. We're wrestling back there on like a mattress. Yeah. And at the time, they had a couch there with like, it was a really soft couch and everything, but there was a one little beam of wood on the bottom, like they have it for decoration.
Yeah.
Dude face planted into there.
Jeez.
I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
That was when he started crying. I'm like, stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
We're doing just fine and dandy, as you can see from our childhood injuries.
Yeah,
Dude.
we're doing fine now. Maybe
Now.
not back then, but now
not
it's
so
okay.
No, and that was the day where he actually stopped crying every time he got hurt. Was after that face plant. So like the face plant on the floor, and then him going to the box of stuffed animals was like a year after the face plant to the sofa happened. But that day I didn't want to get in trouble, so I did what every like older brother, older cousin does, and I'm like, hey, you want to play with the big kids? Don't cry. You cannot cry. And
Yeah.
he like learned to not cry after that.
Well, everything after that was probably smooth sailing, like what's it called?
He flew.
Well, everything compared. Well, I think hitting a wooden beam straight on
What
is
about-
worse than just flying to a stuffed animal.
What about no? There's also the face plant on the floor where there was a huge blood stain because there was tile on the floor.
I mean,
That's
some
fine.
injuries,
Yeah,
can,
it's fine.
Some
Some
injuries can
injuries-
look worse than they actually are.
Yeah.
So it may be just, busted lip. It's all right.
Like that, like.
Oh, it depends how busted.
Yeah.
Because there's some
that's really
injuries
busted.
where they leave a bruise, but
Yeah.
they hurt way less than like that little piece of skin that's hanging off of your nail, and as you're trying to remove it slowly, you actually end up hurting way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't leave as big as a bruise, but something where that leaves a bruise probably isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because bruising is just eternal bleeding.
I still remember the
Yeah,
worst.
nothing like internal injuries.
Still remember the worst injury I've ever had was,
You got shot in the face.
no,
Not
Shot in
yet.
the leg.
it was 8th grade year. We were playing up against the middle school in Nicky Rowe.
Mhm.
No, it was Nicky Rowe's middle school, like their equivalent.
Yeah.
We were at their school. I was on defense. I made like a head-on tackle, and that was when my dad was the most proud of me. But at the same time, all of the linemen from the other team piled on. So in the like pile, I'm there at the bottom. The dude's already on the sideline, like laying down, and you just hear in the pile. That was my spine. So
Oh my God.
I legit almost could not move for like a week.
Jeez
Anytime I
Louise.
moved, it was terrible. I'm still feeling it to this day. But it's like that was the worst injury I've ever had.
Jeez, that's
The spine injuries are very scary. That's
Yeah,
that's
I
where
was-
your brain tells your body
Like,
what to do.
like as soon as
Yeah.
I wasn't able to like sit down or do jumping jacks or even like just remotely walk comfortably,
Yeah.
I was terrified. I was like, oh my god, no,
Yeah.
not like this, not like this.
It's like the extremities. It's like you broke your finger. All right, there goes the finger. You broke your arm. Oh, well, there goes everything. It's like there. The spine. There goes everything.
It
In
does.
Like
general,
everything everywhere.
Yeah. Really, that was worse than your concussions?
Yeah, because that was my spine crack. I don't feel the concussions to this day. I still feel my spine.
Oh, okay.
Like you seen how there's moments where I have to pop my spine just because it stiffens out.
I have a slightly bent spine, but I mean that just messes with my posture a little bit.
No, mine was just because of that one incident, and it's been like that ever since. But like any other injury I've had, like the concussions, they like over time they heal and stuff. Like of course it hurts like hell, especially when you're blindsided in the temple during a game. But those go away over time. Just like my pinky, when it bent out, I just snapped it back into place and it was fine. But the spine, that's scary.
Scary.
Yeah, you could get crippled.
You have anything that's scary, Freddy?
Not really. I've been pretty good at not getting that badly hurt.
Fought in Vietnam, man.
Yeah.
He was in the Nam War.
Freaking. Yeah, I want to say like one of the. I mean, there's an injury that when I was there was like a lock-in thing. We were playing at the gymnasium, and we were playing basketball, or whatever. I'm pretty sure I might have told the story before already, but I decided to try and attempt to shoot a basketball while trying to balance on a basketball. So yeah, as soon as I had the basketball in hand, I had the other basketball on the floor. As soon as I stepped on that basketball, there was just about like I went from straight up to straight down really fast. And so
There was a dramatic level change.
yes, and when I had fallen, I landed on my right elbow, and
Oof.
so I landed like straight on.
Yeah.
And so for like a good 2 weeks, my elbow would just hurt like heck. I could not really move it, or whatever. And Yeah, so it just really hurt to just like move it
Yeah.
and just to whatever, or for anybody any contact whatever. And I remember I still went to kaiju kembo class. It's kind of like karate, I guess, or
Okay.
some martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember there was this other kid that was there, around my age, but he was bigger.
Like
That's bigger.
bigger?
Yes, he was bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he was also taller.
Okay.
So, yeah. And so I just remember he threw a kick and I just blocked it.
Yeah.
Blocked with the arm that hurts. And then that sent me down. that hurt. That hurt like a mother, dude. Dude, I was just like, okay, yeah, that's it. I can't do anything anymore. I was to like this other spot across on the street because my grandma and my tia are across the street from each other.
Yeah.
And so I think they use like this spot that's next to my tia's to just put a big pile and the city takes care of it. I remember running across the street and then I freaking
What's up, Cody?
The entire screen just went black and turned back on, and the time refreshed. It's
I
no
know.
longer says an hour.
I saw it.
this is still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
It's just,
We're good.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck just
So I
happened?
tripped and then I fall forward and then I scrape on the road. And so my hands kind of bloodied. My elbows and knees were definitely bloodied. And they just hurt because it was a bunch of little rocks.
Oof.
And then of course, I was a little kid. I was crying. And then my parents, well, I don't know if my parents, one of my family members helped me get cleaned up. It was probably my mom. Going to my grandma's, clean it up and all that. Just like, I just had bandages over my, like, my elbows, knees, and, like, my hands. I don't remember if it hit my forehead or not, but maybe. Because I know I have, like, a little, like, thing here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know when that was, so that could very well have been from that. So yeah, that hurt. I remember it hurting.
So it's not necessarily an injury, but I do have this thing where, so in high school I had the bad habit of not really stretching before running the mile that we're supposed to run before rehearsal actually starts.
Yeah. And
so around like junior or senior year, I am backwards marching, and I feel this sharp pain at like the I want to say the side of my left leg towards the bottom, around the shin area.
Yeah.
And so I don't collapse, but I do break my leg form, and then I scoot to the side and realize there's this like little hill on my leg.
Okay.
It's like this, maybe this much high off my leg.
Okay.
And it looks like a little ball, half semi ball.
Yeesh.
And it's just protruding and in pain. And so I'm just sitting there for about like 2, 3, 4 minutes and just rubbing it down.
Yeah.
And I feel good afterward, and then I go up. I bring it to attention to my mom, and we end up going to the pediatric at the time. And he tells me, "Oh, that's just it's just a ball of fluid from like because apparently there's fluid that's supposed to keep knees, elbows, and stuff like that, like nice and oiled up, basically. And so it's a clump of that's developed because I wouldn't stretch before I would do any physical activity.
Oh, okay.
And so now if I don't do any sort of stretches to prepare my body, it will pop up very severely and hurt just as before. Now, it's still there. It's never going to go away. But it just serves a reminder that I need to stretch before I do stuff.
Nice.
So it's not necessarily an injury. It's my curse.
It's your curse.
It's my curse. My consequence.
Yes. I have tendonitis. That's my curse.
I
got tendonitis on my feet, so I'm flat-footed.
Ooh. Wait, so what's tendonitis?
Inflammation of the tendons.
Where
the tendons are inflated.
Oh, no.
Yes. So it just makes me more unable to be on my feet as long as the average person, typically. Although I feel like I'm fine now. Before, I mean, I still do. I have like inserts that I put in my shoes.
Yeah.
So it just helps. But yeah, so
I was about to say a lot of your jobs are standing jobs.
yeah, I mean, I'm better now.
Okay.
But before, it was just like running and like just being on my feet a lot, doing the marching band, cross country, and all that sort of thing. Yeah. My feet would just hurt.
Yeah.
But I just kind of got over it. I never really let it hinder me too much.
I mean, when you're younger, it's like you could push through everything. And you're fine.
Yeah, but also apparently because I'm flat-footed, I'm more prone to getting bunions when I'm older, because all my weight, instead of being evenly distributed, it's all going to my big toe, and so That's also how I got ingrown toenails. So I guess that also effectively had that happen. I had ingrown toenails on both of my big toes.
Yeah.
On the outside part.
Yeah.
And so I mean, you remember, I was just like,
it was terrible.
Yeah, it hurt. It sucked, man. It was rough. Freaking, I ended up going with the procedure where they ended up like cauterizing the part where your nail would like grow out in that spot, just so that way I don't have to worry about it again. Because, man, I remember the procedure itself wasn't painful.
Yeah.
Because what they do is they numb your toe, and then they just like manhandle your toe. They move that big flappy part. Like if this is the toe, they just move the big flappy part that way. They pull the nail out. They just like clip it all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And they clip it all down this way, and I think they also did the other side. They just made both of them like that. Yeah, but it was numb. I couldn't feel anything. What hurt was the numbing shots they do, because there's no other way to do it for this when it's concentrated spots. So it's 4 really quick shots, 2 on top, 2 in the bottom. That was
because your toe's not numb yet.
Yeah, that was I would say that's the worst pain I've ever felt ever in my life.
You know it hurts when you're holding your tongue. When you're holding your tongue.
Yeah, it was torture, man. I remember being like I remember just needing to have so much self-control to not move my leg when they were doing the shots, because I was like, if I move it, it's gonna get worse. I have to just let them do their thing. They just like, bam, do the shot. Okay, that hurt a lot. Bam, do the other shot. Okay, that also very much hurt a lot. And each shot kept getting worse and worse.
Because the chemicals going in and taking effect.
It just, man, it sucked. It was horrible. And then I couldn't even walk properly after the procedure.
That's terrible.
Speaking of shots, the worst one that I've had was in my mouth, like for the dentist, because it just feels like such a long.
Oh yeah, those
Here. It was terrible because after the procedures, I couldn't eat at all. It was bad. I had to take like a crap ton of painkillers just so I can kind of eat. It was awful.
We got a comment that says, Cody, I got bored writing your requested fanfic, so I started writing a new one about your original characters.
Aw, cute.
Why do I feel like that's a gay ship? Oh yeah, because it's one of my fans.
Those numbing shots hurt like a bee.
Yeah.
Felt like it was going through my bone. First shot was the worst.
Disconnected.
That's fine. We're back. It just keeps coming back and on. It's all
and we're back.
And we're back.
It's so weird.
It's okay as long as it lets me just download these clips. That's all I really care about.
Yeah.
So what you learn today, Freddie?
What'd you learn? I learned that pain is just a construct of the mind. Whenever we need to feel the pain, we feel the pain. But whenever we don't understand, we just don't. And then when we do, we wish we didn't.
And that we need baking soda in this house.
And we need baking soda in this goddamn house.
Dude.
Where the hell did that baking soda go?
I don't know. Dude, when you mentioned that you were on a basketball and you fell back, I just picture like you stepping on a basketball, falling back, and it just turns into like Sora falling down the sky. It's like when you walk. That's all I picture. So I just couldn't.
It was very much not as graceful.
There's some moments that you'd prefer to be in slow motion. That was definitely one of them.
It's like Gwen Stacy falling.
It just all happened so fast. I was just like, all right, I'm ready. I step, I look up, and then
and we're gone.
And we're gone. And then last second, put the elbow out, and then that was the worst decision of my life.
I feel like the best part would have just like have the whole basketball you were holding break your fall. Just like let that cushion the other side of your body.
Geez, I feel like I might have just bruised my arm.
Yeah.
Still a hard ball.
Yeah. What you learned today, Cody?
What did I learn? Apparently, not all of my fans are into gay ships. That's great.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. It's not a gay ship.
Equality.
And
not
quantity.
Shots, and also, shots are the worst, no matter where you get them.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I had the worst shot this past weekend. Stupid shot.
Put you in bed for like fucking 3 days.
No, it put me in bed for 3 days, and then I was still feeling the symptoms till this morning. I'm good now. Like I'm completely fine now. Maybe the cough will come back every like 2 or 3 hours, but it's not bad. It just and then I'm good.
Yeah. Symptoms vary person. to
Yeah,
person.
and I hate it because like the first shot, it's just like with everyone. Like the first vaccine shot was just like, all right, you know what? It may hurt. You're good.
Because it's half the vaccine.
Yeah. Second one is like, all right, I feel it's sucky now.
Yeah.
I didn't go to work for one day. I took a nap for 4 hours, and then I was good. I was good. This third one, freaking killed me. It killed me. It was like the day of that I got it, I started coughing. Not even like 2 hours later, I was already coughing.
Wow.
It got worse Friday. I was dying. I was already in bed. I came downstairs and spent the whole day on this couch. All day. I only got up to go to the restroom, and whatever food I would eat, it tasted disgusting to me, and I didn't want to eat it. I ordered food in. I had to muster every muscle I could to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
You need that sustenance.
And then Saturday, Sunday was just as bad. I went to work on Sunday, but I still had the like. It wasn't as constant, but it was happening. and then Monday, it was like the symptoms are there, but I can still get by. I go to rehearsal, it's all good. The meds pulled me through, and then when I came home, it is when I was like and so Tuesday, go to work. They're basically gone. It's just I don't feel any more fatigue. It's just kind of like a 2 every once in a while, and here and there. Now
and
today, yeah, and now today I wake up, and I'm like, because this happened every single morning since I got that vaccine. It was like, all right, I feel good. Now, if I actually get myself up, was the test if it happened or not? Because as soon as I would wake up for the past 3-4 days, it was. Okay, I'm good. I'll be like, and so this morning.
What if we do reverse? You just like you wake up and you're like, I'm bad. What if you wake up and it's like, oh, I'm good.
And so this morning I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm not coughing. I went like this. Okay, that doesn't. I feel good. I woke up and I was like, okay, that one's a regular cough. We're good. I finally feel great.
There you go.
Fine, it took freaking forever, but I finally feel great.
So and they said it couldn't be done.
They said it couldn't be done.
So the meds, they pulled you through?
They pulled me through. You got to stick to them meds. Over the counter, you know what? They take you over the edge.
Yeah. Generic brand.
Generic brand. What more do you need? Specialty brand? Generic.
There you go.
But anyways,
apparently generics work just as well as the brand.
They do. I mean,
it's just the difference of brand.
Have you tasted the Walmart brand of foods? Just as good. Walmart brand cereals, pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, for foods, yeah, off-brand, yeah. But for as far as medicines, generics are just as good according to doctors.
Same ingredients, as far as I know.
Yeah, because that's all it is. It's just most people want to go with brands because. That's the society we live in today.
Yeah, it's like with anything. Everybody's just like, oh, I buy the brand, not the clothes. Or I buy the brand and not the this.
I buy the brand, not the clothes.
Like you buy the clothes.
Give me the sticker. I don't want the shirt.
like you don't buy it for the shirt itself. You buy it because it says Nike or like it says like.
Take this off.
I made you that.
Yeah, I know. This is not a brand.
It's sound euphonium.
Yeah, but
technically
I don't see no brand. This is what it's about.
Athletic.
No, no brand. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the CodeO-cast.
God, you fucking destroyed it. It's all wrinkly.
Make sure to tune into the show on YouTube, or if you're way too busy to see us for some reason, I don't see why you wouldn't be, but if you are for some reason,
he thinks you guys don't have lives. Cancel.
You can always tune in and listen to us on Spotify. Episodes go out weekly. Obviously, the best experience is watching us. If you want to chime into the conversation, just like these wonderful people have today,
yeah, like Kim and Brianna and Chris Urzabaz and
that Russian porn link.
The bot. We need to stop addressing that.
And also that gothic chick.
Yes. Yeah. Number one fan. And so, make sure you're tuning into the different places. If you stick around, dig, maybe it'll throw a video at you at some point.
Hopefully, at some point in a store near you. Well, maybe not near you, but it'll be there at some point.
Eventually.
We have a couple of things. But they are still needing to be worked on.
Yeah.
As in, they need to get started. Are doing going back to Dig Cooks. But we
Beautiful.
Yeah. But because the second episode, I swear to God, we had it. It was almost ready. We just needed to do voiceover and then do some cutting because it was 10 minutes long. But Carlos moved out, and then I gave it to him, and then he decided that he would just come at it little bits at a time, and then ultimately decided, hey, actually this is kind of trash with as opposed to the first one. We need to just do it all over. So we're gonna do it all over again. So not this week, not next week. It's not nowhere near today, but by the end of this year, we're gonna get episode 2, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
At least this is pretty consistent.
We'll see you next week for our following episode. If you want to see it live, go to our socials. We'll always announce when we're going live.
What?
Go to the Dig Instagram. That's where you put it, right?
The Digstagram.
Oh, I was suggesting that. Chat. I don't understand what it means.
Cody was me with the Pop-Tart.
What?
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. There's a Pop-Tart there.
Are you talking about the way that he eats the Pop-Tart?
Yeah, it's that's what?
What?
What? I don't know. Do you eat it in a eat your Pop-Tart. Show me.
Show
the class.
Show me.
No.
Damn it.
Hurry up. The outro music's still going. It's 3 minutes. Hurry up.
Is it really?
No, but by the time I edit it, it's still going. So hurry up.
Finish your editing, Omar.
I can't while it's live.
Yeah.
Hurry up and
Edit
eat
it live.
Hurry up
Show
and
them
eat
how
it.
you edit.
No.
Why not? You don't want to do editing tutorial for all the hopeful content creators?
The day you actually get back to editing and actually putting out a video is when I'll do it.
Okay.
Hey, you guys want to goodbye? Take care. Oh, bye.
Bye.
You guys want to join me? Not today, but at some point, live streaming. Just going through Catherine
Sure.
because I just want to play. I want to play on the
Sure.
hardest difficulty, and I want to actually get like a decent. I feel like I could do that.
Sure.
We'll add
Yeah.
commentary because there's no way I'm gonna beat it at hardest difficulty.
Yeah, because
That was a terrible playthrough for me.
I've been thinking of doing it, but I don't want to do it myself.
And you can find out when that will happen if you go to the Dig
Whenever
Instagram
we-
and follow.
whenever
we'll
we
tell
make
you when.
announcements.
We'll tell you when that goes up if you just follow. And
Whenever we
you'll
make
keep up on the
announcements.
date.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of the CodeO-cast.
Bye. Bye now. Bye. Enchiladas.
Ooh.
You like American enchiladas? Or do
And
you like
we'll talk
Mexican
about it in the
enchiladas? Do you like
next
the
episode.
enchiladas with the brown stuff? Or the ones with the white stuff? Or the ones with the green stuff? Or the ones with the red stuff? Or the
Apparently
ones that
there
are
was some
fruit roll?
enchiladas with
The
like
ones with the
Oreos.
brown?